Spoleto, Italy, which is an absolutely beautiful city that's very old. Goes back to Roman times. That's the medieval walls around the city still in existence there. And a few minutes, maybe an hour after I'd taken this picture of the city from the castle, I went down into one of the central plazas, and I noticed three people in one shot, all on their phones. And we're in one of the most beautiful places in the world, and they were on a device. Well, I'm not going to criticize or judge them. Maybe those were important phone calls or a message they had to catch. But I want to just emphasize, enjoy the trip, not your phone. Even though I'm teaching you stuff about how to use your phone while you travel, remember the main thing of the trip and your travel is to experience the place you are and the moment you're in. So don't let your phone detract from that. All right. Yeah, our digital technology should be an aid to travel and not the end of travel. There are people who go places. I'm going to just say this, and their point was to get a picture of themselves with a certain destination in the background. They snap a selfie and they move on, and they may not drink in the scenery of the fabulous place they've just been. So it's more important that you enjoy the experience than getting a photo up on Instagram. So here, let's start off. Your mobile phone is a phone. Isn't it funny that this little thing that I often refer to as a pocket computer, because it has tremendous computing capability, we still call a phone, even though we do so much more than phone calling on it. But when you're traveling, remember that your phone is a phone. You can get and you can give and receive phone calls through your phone. Of course, when you're overseas, that is a little bit different. We'll talk some about that. You can text. And again, overseas, you can send and receive text. Phone, as with calls, there's a charge to that, so it's not free. You can send and receive emails on your phone. You can use WhatsApp, which is a kind of a messaging platform and a messaging app on your phone, which works through a Wi-Fi environment, very similar to messaging, except for it has additional capabilities that messaging doesn't have. And we do teach a class here at Get Set Up all about how to use WhatsApp, because you can make phone calls through WhatsApp. You can send recorded messages through Get Set Up. You can send a video. You can do all of these things, phone calls, text, email, WhatsApp, in a Wi-Fi environment if you're outside the country, or if you're in the US and you have bad signal. If you go to a Wi-Fi environment, you can do all those things. There are settings you can put on your phone to make it Wi-Fi enabled, which means that you can send and receive calls through the Wi-Fi in a house if you have the Wi-Fi connection. That's often helpful if you're in a place where your cell phone signal is bad. So many cities, believe it or not, where there's lots of tall buildings around, have bad cell phone signals. My daughter lives in one of those apartments in Brooklyn where she can't receive my phone calls regularly now. She set her phone so that she can get Wi-Fi, and so she can now get calls from me. They come through the Wi-Fi. Same thing actually in my home where I live. I have people with certain cellular phone companies like Mobile. What is it? Mobile One. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank on the name of it. They can't get a cell signal in my house. I have Verizon Wireless. The signal's fine. Even sometimes people at AT&T have a bit of a hard time, Sprint, getting a signal here. But if they're attached to the Wi-Fi in my house, it's just fine. I kind of live on the side of a hill, a bit of a cellular signal shadow for some systems. T-Mobile, that's what I was looking for. So, however, all the things that you can do with a phone when you're traveling abroad, if you want to, you can turn off your cellular data and you can receive calls through the Wi-Fi and make text, send texts, and send emails, WhatsApp, etc. Any questions about that before I go on?
Now, is there a charge for that per month, or how does that work?
For which?
For WhatsApp?
WhatsApp is free.
Okay, thank you.
And WhatsApp works through Wi-Fi. Good question. Your phone, when you for travel, is also a camera, and the cameras and phones have gotten better and better and better, where to the point where my phone rivals my camera. Now I have a very good digital camera, so there are a lot of things my digital camera actually can do that my phone can't do. So, but for casual snap pictures here and there, my phone is very good, including getting excellent color. One thing that my phone does, though, that my camera doesn't do, is my phone does record the location of where the photo was taken. My camera does record time, but I have to manually set that, whereas your phone resets itself. If you travel around the world, it'll know what time zone you're in. It'll reset itself. So you'll know the time and the location of where you've taken a photo. And that's great because like with my phone, my photos automatically go into my photo stream, and then they go automatically to my laptop. I don't have to sit down and sync them. And when I open that photo later on my laptop, it shows where I was and when I was, what time of day it was. Your phone also can edit. You can adjust the color, crop photos, do all sorts of things with a photo. The tools for editing have gotten better and better. So you can even edit a video. I was actually just in a class that Scott Sleek did this morning at 9 about using your phone to do things like edit videos and some of the photographic capabilities of your phone. So again, you can learn that and get set up. But the phones have gotten better and better. I know for years that Android phone, the cameras on Android phones were better, but now with the latest Apple iPhones, they're saying those are some of the best cameras ever. Now they're expensive. You have to spend a couple $100 extra to get the really good phone, good camera on a phone. I have an iPhone SE 2020, so it has actually a better camera than the one that I had from 2015. Not the top of the line, but it's just really good camera. Other things you can do with your phone as a camera is you can create attachments. So for example, I take a picture of my vaccination card, and I've saved it to the photos on my phone. I've also taken that photo and I've attached it to a note, so it's on my phone all the time. I don't have to be in a Wi-Fi environment to see that. You can also save a screen. So let's say you've got a web page you've made, you've picked up in a Wi-Fi environment, and you're going to be going out of Wi-Fi or maybe out of cellular data, and you want to keep an image of what was on that web page. You can save the screen. You can do there's a way with your iPhone, you can take a picture of the screen and save it to your photos. So it has all sorts of capabilities through your camera. Any questions about that? Okay. Other things your phone can do for travel. It can navigate you. You can use Google Maps, and I'll show you a bit today how to use Google Maps.